Transfer news is back on the agenda already as Derby County have been linked to a player from Doncaster Rovers. Joseph Olowu looks set to be a target for Derby County this summer in what would look set to be a free transfer. He's a 25-year-old centre-back standing at 1.84 metres tall. Born in Ibadan, but his citizenship is England. He is worth £225,000 right now. And as I'm recording this video, it's just popped up on my screen that he has scored an own goal for Doncaster Rovers. We'll just move past that. Now, his contract does expire at the end of this season, which obviously makes this a free transfer for Derby County. And obviously he's currently playing in the 4th tier of English football. Now, if we look at his current season, it's a very, very interesting one. He's made 34 appearances across the course of League Two, the FA Cup, EFL Trophy and EFL Cup, scoring 3 times, assisting 2 goals, collecting 2 yellow cards, playing 2,821 minutes, with all of those appearances coming at centre-back. Now, he spent time at Man United, with Arsenal, over at Cork City and Wealdstone before moving to Doncaster a few seasons ago. Now, if we look at his career as a whole, it's a very, very interesting one. Obviously came through at Arsenal, where he made a whole host of different appearances for their youth academy, 34 for the under-21s, 31 for the under-18s, as well as being involved in their youth league exploits, although I don't believe he actually made an appearance in the youth league. He obviously then moved on to Manchester United after a couple of loan spells with Cork City and Wealdstone. He only spent, I believe it was a season or 2 at Manchester United before moving on to Doncaster Rovers, where he's been since 2021-2022. He's made 139 appearances for them with 8 goals and 5 assists. He can play across the back 4, mainly a centre-back, where he's made 185 appearances, 19 at right-back and 3 at left-back. What do I think about this potential rumour? What do I think about this signing? He's not sort of one which I'd have particularly gone for, in my personal opinion. It's sort of a difficult situation because I think Derby County need more quality in the back line, not a potential squad depth option from League Two. And obviously, coming into the summer, obviously now we're under new management. When this link came out, I believe Paul Warren was still the manager, but given that circumstance, this video has had to wait. But it's one of those for me where there's a few clubs interested in his services, and it's one of those for me where it's not sort of a bad thing because it shows that there's obviously some quality there. You obviously then look at some other players that are currently playing in League Two that we've been potentially chasing as well, and does he sort of fit into that category? At 25 years old, he's obviously going to have some ability. He's playing in the Football League. He's got something which could really add to Derby County. Obviously, someone has thought that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have even looked at him to start with. Now, for me, I don't necessarily believe this is the right move for Derby County. I don't necessarily think it's a move which is obviously going to sort of help Derby in the long run. It might be a short-term fix to fill a gap for a season or 2, but not something which could be sort of a mega move over the course of the next 5 years. But as we know, we've had players come up from lower divisions before. You look at Dwayne Holmes, you look at Richard Keogh, Cyrus Christie, all stepped up from lower divisions and were absolutely massively important for us at times. And for me, there is a lot to like about this player. He's obviously really important to Doncaster Rovers. That's why he's played as many minutes as he has. I think it's something like 75% of the time he's been in the starting 11. I believe he's played pretty much all the available minutes so far. But it's one of those for me where if Derby County are looking to improve and get better, we've got to be turning ourselves into a championship club. And that comes by buying players championship quality. We obviously know we've spent a lot of money on players from Norway and Sweden over the course of the last few months. And we've not really bought much championship experience or championship quality into the squad, which is obviously quite disappointing because you need that championship experience, that championship expertise to keep you in a division, to obviously then move you on to the next level within the division. And obviously there is going to be changes along the way now that John Eustace is in, and will that come in the form of the recruitment team? Is he going to sort of give the recruitment team free rein and go, you know what, go and find me players that are good enough to play for this team, go and find me players that are better, and when you've done all the work, let me see it, let me see who you've put in front of us, and we'll sort of go from there. Now, Joseph Olowu, is he going to be better than what we have at the club right now? I don't really know, but obviously you've then got to look at the defenders we've got at the club. Obviously, Langas, Rooney are the only ones that are sort of long term. Curtis Nelson coming towards the back end of his career. Matt Clark is out of contract in the summer. Bradley's out of contract in the summer. Craig Forsyth is out of contract in the summer. Ryan Niambi is a right back. So we've not really got many options in that position. And obviously, is Jake Rooney going to be able to have that step up this season? Is John Eustace going to use him? We're going to have to wait and see. But it's going to be interesting because at 25 years old, he's probably got 10 years left in his career. Maybe another 5, 6 at the top, at his sort of peak performance. Because obviously he's getting into that sort of peak of his career now at 25, sort of between the ages of 27 and 30. I think are sort of your peak years. And then it sort of all starts to go downhill from there. But it's not a great one for me. It's not a link which I sort of want to really take much notice on. And it's one which I think it's probably our club's name being utilised to boost the profile of the player, given his contract is expiring in the summer. It opens that door for Doncaster Rovers to give more money. It opens the door for other clubs who are coming in to potentially offer more than they probably would because of the fact that Derby County are potentially interested. And it's all a lot of agent talk, a lot of paper talk, and for me, Derby County have to sort of make that adjustment this season of sort of picking up the right players. I'm not saying that you can't get the right players from sort of lower leagues. Obviously, there's some players in our club that have come from those lower leagues and have been really good for us. But there's just got to be that change, and we need some more quality in the squad. And I don't personally believe that's going to come from those lower divisions unless we're buying from a Birmingham, unless we're buying from, well, not even a Wrexham really. But realistically, Birmingham is probably one of the main teams in League One where I'd sort of go, oh, well, we could sign probably half of their squad and it probably improves what we've got right now, especially when you look at their forward line in the likes of Jay Stanisfield and things like that. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the transfer market's handled in the summer. Obviously, it is all going to depend on what division we're in. I think if we're in League One, this is a deal we'd probably go for. I think if we're in the Championship, we'd probably go a little bit further afield for a centre-half, probably even keep Matt Clark on the books. But it's going to be interesting to see how it develops, and John Eustace has big work on his hands in solving Derby County's problems, and that's something we've spoke about over the course of the last few days, and we'll continue to talk about over the course of this week and next week and heading into the end of the season. Obviously, there's some big changes that John Eustace has to make. Will it involve free agents? We spoke about that yesterday. If you have not done so already, go and check out that video. Derby County really need to make some changes. It's going to come in style of play. It's going to come in personnel. But is it going to come in the form of a Ryan Kent? Is it going to come in a form of Brandon Williams? Or is it going to be young players stepping up? The likes of Cruz Allen, the likes of Jake Rooney, the likes of Jack Perry, the likes of Niall McAndrew. Are they going to be the players to step up for Derby County and really make a name for themselves in the second half of this season and make themselves potential first team regulars for a season back down in League One? Obviously, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit the like button as well. Let me know your thoughts on this potential signing down in the comments. It's not one I'm particularly keen on, but let me know your thoughts anyway.